Hey, so in some ways, it's a happy time because there's a simplicity and a lightening, and it comes with backlashes and it comes with anxieties. Um, but overall, I feel more free to like play around with things just because I want to. Um, I've been eating like a happy Buddha, spending more time in nature, doing what I feel like doing, trusting my intuition. Um, Similar to what I did before the December retreat, but there's a lot more lightness now than there was then because so much of the shadow, the bulk of the shadow is moved through. And there's a sense sometimes more than before that I can relax. The world's not on my shoulders. I am allowed to exist simply for the sake of existing. I'm allowed to do things purely for the joy of them. Um, when I asked Angelo a while back at a Q&A, I mean, I told him that my body tends to register joy as danger. He advised me to do things I enjoy without guilt. And I have friends who sort of substitute the word discipline for devotion. So it's not about, oh, I have to do my yoga every morning and I have to, get stronger and do my whatever, this. It's more like devotion is such a softer word. It's like I'm devoted to this body mind. I'm devoted to nature. I'm devoted to whatever food or joy or person is around or, calling to be attended to. And when I screw up, I don't beat myself up or catastrophize the way that I used to. Like at during the online retreat, at one of the Q&A sessions, I had my hand up and there was some kid drama. And so I like went out of the room, and when I came back, the host was trying to unmute me. And I was like, oh crap, like I hoped I had kind of made it just in time, and I tried to just play it off, smoothly, whatever. Um, and then later I watched the playback, and there had been an uncomfortably long pause. But I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm such a screw up, whatever. It was just like, oops, that happened. Okay. Um, it happens. It's not a big deal. And I felt more comfortable asking questions that, maybe seem like simplistic questions, maybe, but I was stuck on them. And I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I wasn't trying to appear sophisticated. I wasn't trying to play any status games. It was just like, I'm genuinely stuck here. I could use some help. And I got help, and it was great. Um, and in general, inauthenticity is increasingly intolerable, like itchy, like wearing a burlap undershirt or something. It's like, um, it's harder to pull off. It's more uncomfortable. And it's like I don't know exactly, of course, what's going to come from more authenticity, uh, but it seems like it's it's coming through more and more, and like it's what's going to happen is going to happen. And it is a kind of relief to take off the burlap undershirt and just be honest. Like when I'm angry about something, I'm angry, cleanly angry. If it's attached to some shadow, then maybe the shadow gets stirred up and something I need to work on. If it's a boundary issue, I set the boundary. If in the course of any of that I mess up, I apologize sincerely and make a repair. It comes and goes. It doesn't linger. It's simple. And even when things are sticky or sad, they don't derail me like they used to. It's like I respect the stickiness. I'm not like, oh, why am I still hung up on that? It's like, no, this thing's sticky. That's okay. It's sticky right now. Um, and if there's sadness, I hold the sadness. Like it's just sadness. It's not a problem. Um, and radical honesty is so nice because like nothing can shake you when you're radically honest. It's like, oh no, what if they find out the truth? It's like they already know the truth. Like it's done, and they can do whatever they want with it. It's like the ball's in everyone else's court, um, and I can just relax and whatever happens happens. Right? It's usually not that bad. Um, I can still feel strongly about things in the relative sense, but it doesn't feel so personally existential. Like I can see real suffering caused by real ignorance, or what I perceive to be real ignorance, what I perceive to be real suffering. And it's somewhat easier to take a breath and wonder where I might be ignorant too. Because, so much of what we see outside of ourselves is a projection of what's not seen in ourselves. And I wrote down the other day, in a good faith debate, it's never a question of why the other person can't see what I see. It's always a question of what am I missing about how they see things. And it's not always easy, but even just sort of seeing that clearly, because I mean, when I say good faith debate, I mean when you're genuinely trying to find common ground and not just convince somebody else of how you see things. Good faith means you assume the other person is a human who has normal human feelings, and that might be a mistake. Sometimes humans are psychopaths or whatever, but most are not. Um, Either way, the weight of it all doesn't fall on me to fix right now. Like I don't have to, the old meme like cancel all my appointments. Someone on the internet is wrong. Like I don't have to convince everybody to see things the way I do. I'd like to in many cases, but there's not. I don't feel that crushing pressure so much anymore. At the same time, sometimes I do have a hang up about feeling like I'm just along for the ride of life. Like I'm a blob and stuff is just happening. Like, I don't have to make any decisions or do anything I don't want to do. And like I'm just doing what I feel like with no regard for others. Making no plans, taking no initiative to help anyone or make the world a better place other than what is already in motion that I do. And then I go back to the question of, well, where is the motivation for that hang up actually coming from? And it always goes back to like at a very young age, I stopped worrying about me and started worrying about everybody around me. I was like parentified pretty much from, yeah, a very young age. So things like caretaking for me can come with a lot of resentment. And I think I'm still working through the idea that I'm not responsible for how everyone else experiences their existence. And I kind of hope that once that is worked through, I'll be more naturally and joyfully altruistic instead of sort of frantically and resentfully altruistic in some ways, like trying to prove I'm a good person. Like it won't have anything to do with who I am, and I'll be able to do it fully unconditionally. Um, yeah, that's the hope. One way to find out. But yeah, I have fewer hangups around food, so I didn't feel so bad like indulging and eating whatever I wanted. But after a while, I did start to naturally crave healthier stuff, like joyfully healthy stuff. Like I really love like a good crunchy salad with tahini honey dressing and grated beets and lentils and arugula and that kind of stuff. And Um, I'm just too lazy to make it most of the time, but I've started making it again. Or like creamy vegan soups. Like I can't eat dairy, so if I want something creamy, I have to go for the vegan stuff. And there's some really nice creamy vegan soups. So maybe after like indulge in like this, be like the selfish phase for a while, um, it'll have a chance to pass, and I can finally mature past the phase where I got stunted as a kid. Um, and obviously, I hope this will ultimately benefit my kids. Like I said in another video, they can tell when you're feeling one thing and saying another. So, and I'm sick of being kind of a fraud, like this fake self, like a conception of a good wife or a good mother that I try to live up to when I don't even know where I got those ideas. And I have to figure out what it actually means to me. Like the inauthenticity, I can't fake it anymore. Like it's real or bust at this point. Um, and I mean, I hope ultimately it'll benefit everyone, but there are awkward phases. And I keep having to remind myself that it's not my job to worry about the future. Uh, the apparent weight of my future responsibilities feels like it's burning off with so many other things. I literally cannot do a damn thing about the future, so I might as well stop carrying that weight. Um, and then, of course, thoughts come like, holy crap, you're going to be worthless and useless and homeless if you don't manage the future. But more and more like those thoughts come and they go because the fact remains I literally cannot do a single thing about the future. It's not here. It's not, it's not, all I can do is mind the present and trust the instincts that reside in this apparent body mind. Trust somebody else to be the electrician and the urban planner and the despot, um, and all the other roles that everybody else plays, right? I can only be me here now. I can't skip over this part. I have to be here when I'm here at this apparent developmental stage of whatever this is. And yeah, somebody mentioned that, you know, the unbinding process is akin to like labor and childbirth. And my immediate thought was like, this is a lot harder. And then I was thinking, so why did I think that? Well, obviously it takes a lot longer, but more importantly, we have permission to feel pain and act like lunatics when we're in labor, right? And we have a clear socially sanctioned goal, which is to birth a child. In this process and this culture, we have neither permission nor a socially sanctioned goal while going through all these this crazy stuff, you know? And it can feel like, oh, maybe I'm just a crazy person. Maybe I'm making it up. Maybe we're all crazy making it up. Um, it's easy to have doubts. And, you know, I try to explain sometimes to my husband that like I'm doing something that many people take decades to do in a monastery. Um, and I don't know, it is what it is. Like it's gonna be there's gonna be tough phases, and it's gonna be there are gonna be phases where like people who are, yeah, in different situations might have an easier or a harder time through this. Like if I lived alone in a cave, it'd probably be a lot easier. But then again, I mean, even being, you know, in this situation where, of course, there's different triggers often. The triggers themselves can like stir up the shadow, and then it's like, okay, now I'm gonna work on this. So maybe it's faster in the end. I don't know. And God only knows why the universe is designed like this. I mean, it's very strange, and yet somehow it feels right. Like I'm on the right track for the first time in my life. Like I don't have to give up anything or fake anything to be on this path, to be in this space. Like there's no, you know, if there's inauthenticity, I can usually catch it. pretty quickly, and like and it's grist for the mill. You know, it's part of the path. It's getting rid of inauthenticity, whatever that means. Who decides what's authentic? I don't know. Um, Very strange. And it also feels alien in a way sometimes. Sometimes it's like, what the hell is all this? This is like no story I've ever been told. This is like nothing I ever prepared for. This is like strange. It's not cozy in the way that our old belief structures can be. Um, but why would it be alien to simply be here now? Like, why is that weird? Um, I guess the mind tried to put us in a little cozy box for so many decades. And then, of course, it makes shit up. Like, I'm just looking at a tree without trying to solve world peace, and it's like, what is this? This is alien. This is weird. This is dangerous. It's like, calm down. Um, yeah, and I have, of course, I have hopes and dreams and goals, and I don't know if any of that's going to happen. And somehow it's okay because it's just not here. It just doesn't make sense to worry about it. Is that good? Is that bad? What's good? What's bad? Who decides? And I mean, that may sound like moral relativism or nihilism or something. It's not, it's different than that. Because it doesn't feel like a complete free for all. Or maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's not, the mind is not going to grasp that which is prior to the mind. And that's a tough one to swallow for this mind. Um, and I think I'll still be asking lots of questions for quite some time until they kind of burn themselves out. Apparently, apparently they do burn themselves out at some point. And that's strange to think about because my mind is so very inquisitive, but we'll see. One way to find out. Yeah, good luck.